Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the L4 Security 13th Region Media Network. And we're doing a little pregame show this evening and preparing for this week's upcoming matchup. It's the Martin Peterbilt's Game of the Week. And DC Turner, we're going to be traveling to Log Mountain. I'm Sean Jackson. To my left is DC Turner, a longtime friend, and we've been on the radio before, and we're going to be talking a little football and just a short preview show to preview our Martin Peterbilt's Game of the Week on Log Mountain. DC, it's going to be a tough one.
Should be one of the better games of the year this year that we're going to have. North Law coming in off of a above-average season last year. Good returning players this year. New coach at the helm this year. But you go down to Log Mountain, you've got the ever-present Dudley Hilton, one of the best that's ever walked the sidelines in this region or in this state. And I would put him into a national conversation as well. So he's going to have the Bobcats ready to go. And as the old saying goes, it's going to be a cat fight.
It's going to be a cat fight in some form or fashion. And I remember back years ago going up to Log Mountain just as a kid, and the atmosphere up there, you know, and Dudley Hilton's been around for a long time, and he's a leader in Bell County. He's kind of an icon in coaching in the state of football. And, Brian, anytime you go to Log Mountain, you've got a battle on your hands, but when Dudley Hilton's in charge of the team at the helm, we know it's really going to be, could be a long night for somebody, or it could be a battle right to the last second.
Exactly, Sean. What can you say about Bell County? One of the best, made it to the championship game last year. Very strong, very productive, a very well-organized and put-together team. Coach has got all these guys running on all cylinders, no stop in their game, very tough, very hard to manage, very hard to scheme against. Their defense, one of the best. Their offense, another one of the best in the 13th region. So it's going to be a tough game, or it could be a good game, just like you said, Sean.
Absolutely. And
It's showing a number up there that we're on the other networks like X and YouTube, right?
Okay.
But it is not on Cases. It's not live stream. Can you click up through there, Sean, and see what's going on?
Yeah. Open him up.
Click add
Open
stage.
him up.
We got to add Case Crowley to the stage? Or not?
Yeah.
Okay, it's right there. Case Crowley's on the stage. He's like on the broadcast. Split screen.
Is he in there?
He isn't, but
You see him?
no, he just bumped out. Let's see.
No, he won't need to be added. He was
Don't
just
add,
trying to
don't
say.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's,
Just remember, you guys are still
go
live.
back up here.
absolutely.
Back up to the, let's see, where are we at?
We are still live here at the 13th Region Media Network, and we're previewing this week's Martin Peterbilt Game of the Week, and it comes to you from Log Mountain this coming Friday, and it's going to be a battle as the North Laurel Jaguars come to town with the new head coach, DC. And, you know, like I said, like you said, it's going to be a cat fight, but, I mean, in general, can you smell that smell in the air?
Hot dogs, hamburgers going.
Absolutely not. I smell nothing but pig skin, and it's flying all over southeast Kentucky, son, and I'm excited. I can't wait for it. It's going to be a great time this coming Friday on Log Mountain, and we urge everybody to tune in right here, the 13th
Yeah, if you
13th Region Media Network, if you can't be there.
If you can't make it, jump on Facebook, find us. Jump on YouTube, find us. Best part about
X as well. Yeah, we're live on X
as well.
Absolutely.
The best part about it, about 7:30 Friday night, they won't have to look at us. They can watch the game.
Well, and that's something, you know, that I want to apologize for is our broadcasting crew, we can talk a little bit of football and have a good time. And
Let's go ahead and count down from 5 and start all over. We're now Facebook Live. Just start all over. These cases got it fixed. So go right ahead. Hey, Case. Turn a commercial on, he said, and then come back from the commercial. Be easy. Let me ask you this. Was there something?
Yeah, because I got to go take 30.
So, when you went in there,
Play the Martin Peterbilt one.
maybe it's just make it by accident.
The Martin family has been in the trucking industry for over 3 generations. My grandfather started this company selling salvage parts in the 1960s, and we're celebrating over 20 years as a Peterbilt dealer. Although we've grown and changed over the years, our focus has always been on you. We get it. When your truck's down, you're not making money. That's why we keep thousands of quality parts in stock so you can get back on the road as soon as possible. At Martin's Peterbilt, relationships matter, and that's why we've been around for generations. Come see us.
Whether you are buying or selling, Jesse Sizemore with Century 21 Advantage Realty would love to help you get your property sold or help you find your next dream home, farm, or investment property. No matter how big or small, Jesse Sizemore with Century 21 Advantage Realty will help make the process smooth and enjoyable for you. Feel free to contact Jesse Sizemore anytime at 606-309-9898. Jesse Sizemore, Century 21 Advantage Realty.
And we're back in live here in the studio for the L4 Security 13th Region Media Network, and we're discussing the Martin Peterbilt Game of the Week this coming week. I'm Sean Jackson, going to be your host, and this is kind of a test run. You know, we was talking in here earlier, said you got to take the vehicle for a test drive before you buy it. So this is kind of our test drive, so we're working through some things. But to my left, I've got my main man from London, Kentucky, DC Turner. DC and I have been on the radio before. DC, shaping up to be a really good battle in the Martin Peterbilt Game of the Week this week. It takes place on Log Mountain as the Jaguars come to town to visit Dudley Hilton's Bell County Bobcats.
To open up with North Laurel at Bell County is we're going to have a hard time topping that the rest of the year.
That absolutely has to be the premier game of the week in the 13th region because, you know, both teams lost some great senior leadership.
Yes.
Both teams, you know, made their runs. Of course, Coach Hilton made a long run there. But, you know, even watching Coach Hilton on his preview show the other day talking about some things, he said that his kids have been working really hard. I know North Laurel's got a brand-new coach that's really putting in the work, too,
right.
And it's going to be an exciting time.
Yeah, you've got both teams lost some quality players from last year's team, but they also, both teams are returning some quality players this year. The Johnson kid at North Laurel he's just a beast on both sides of the ball. And then Bell County, they lost Thomas last year, but they got a plethora of running backs that can step in and get whatever they need to get done. One of the best defensive players in the 13th region on their defensive side of the ball. Then you got Blake Burnett returning as the quarterback. He can sling it all over Eastern Kentucky, and he can throw it as far as he wants to. Quality athlete, plays baseball as well, plays basketball, just an all-around athlete. North Laurel's got several players that play multiple sports. It's going to be a knockdown drag-out.
Absolutely going to be a knockdown drag-out. And to my right, we've got our other counterpart, Mr. Brian, here with us. Brian's, of course, out of London, Kentucky as well. And, Brian, you're going to be aboard this season as well, doing the Martin Peterbilt Game of the Week with DC and I each week, and I look forward to traveling. But I know you traveled to Bell County up to Log Mountain some over the years and stuff, and, you know, talk about the environment up there and what type of environment that's going to be this coming Friday.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, it's going to be a tough environment for any team to go up to Log Mountain. I mean, take the team going to the national championship is going to be it's a strong team. It's going to be a strong team this whole year. North has got their work cut out for them, and they know that. North has got a battlefield of players that are tough. Defense, offense, special teams, coaching. They have it all. Both of these teams have it all. And it's going to be a great game. Like you said, it's going to be a hard one to top here in the 13th region, but we are going to see a plethora of offense, defense, this whole game. It's going to be a nonstop knockdown drag-out.
Oh, it's going to be a knockdown drag-out, and if anybody's familiar with Coach Hilton, which everybody around the 13th region all over the state's familiar with Dudley Hilton, and the style of offense that Dudley's been known to run over the years versus the modern style spread type offense. DC, what do you think? I mean, what do you think he's got in store for everybody this year? You never know with Coach Hilton. He may come out 2 tight ends and 3 backs in the backfield. That's just his old school style. What do you think?
That's been his bread and butter over the years. No disrespect to anybody from North Laurel, but Coach Hilton has been one of my coaching idols. I've coached a little bit of football in the past, had a little bit of success, not like he has, but you never know. I mean, he can go from, as the old saying goes, Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He can line it up, go 5 wide, and throw it all over the place on you.
Right, and that's the thing about it. You know, we're talking about losing talent but rebuilding, and you take a coach like that, it's almost like they reload instead of rebuild.
That was the exact word I was going to use.
Of course,
they reload, not rebuild.
Mr. Football out of the state of Kentucky, guess where he came from this past season? That's right, Log Mountain, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, come on. It's football in Log Mountain. It's power, smash mouth, mountain football coming at you this Friday live. I'm excited, guys. I mean, can you smell that smell?
Pigskin?
There's pigskin in the air all over southeast Kentucky, and it's got me fired up. I've had a little too much coffee today, but I tell you what,
You had too much something.
I'm gonna have a little espresso for Friday night. I may get plumb wild, but we're looking forward to seeing it. Also, there's the Sunday evening football pre-show will be kicking off. That'll be Case Crowley and Ronnie Smith. They'll be coming at you, and we'll be announcing a time at a later date. But Case, of course, does a great job in all sports. You know, we used to joke around a little bit, and Case's dad said, you know, years ago when he was 3 years old, he would own us all one day, and here he is, our boss already, you know. So Case doing a good job, and Ronnie Smith, of course, been on the radio and broadcasting in media for years and years and years. So I'm looking forward to watching the Sunday show to get ready for the following Friday night. I mean, I can't even sleep right now because it's football season, man. I mean, this is fabulous. This is great.
If you wait till Sunday night, you're going to miss the first game because the first game's before the first show.
Well, this is true, and that's why I can't get no sleep already because here we are. It's Monday night, and the game's Friday at Log Mountain.
Can we move it up to tomorrow night?
Could we do that?
Casey wants you to add him to the stage. Tell him Casey's going to join you here just.
And I'm going to add in a special guest. I was just speaking about him just a minute ago. His dad used to say he would own the world when he was about 3 years old, and here he is, our boss already. Mr. Case Crowley, welcome in.
He still got red cheeks from embarrassment.
Mute. Mute. He's mute. Yeah, mute.
Don't talk about it, Ronnie. Keep your mouth shut back there. I know exactly what you want to say, but it's fine. We've been through this but once or twice before. But what I was saying, starting off with Bell County and North Laurel, you know, Bell County coming out of a 13-2 season, like Sean mentioned, Mr. Football coming from Bell County up there on Log Mountain. Looking over at North Laurel, coming off an 8-5 season. You know, we talked a little bit about North Laurel, Bell County rebuilding. But, you know, North Laurel lost something this year that they're having to adapt to. And I don't know, we'll see. But, you know, they lose a head coach of Jason Chappell. So we'll see how they come up with that and how they rebuild and reload for that one. But taking a look, I mean, I know that's our game of the week, but, you know, talk about a few more of the games in the region for this week. We'll start off and we'll get everybody's opinion, starting off with Pineville versus Clay County.
DC, Pineville versus Clay County. You know, I can say this. Pineville has really worked hard. They've been working on their field and their stadium up there, and I have had the privilege to work with and know their head coach personally, and Alan Harris. And listen, I've known Alan since we were just young men, and I know he brings his work ethic to the field along with his discipline. And from looking through at some of the notes and some of the videos and stuff, seems like Coach Harris actually really has some size up there. And I think potentially this season, I think Pineville's going to surprise some people.
Yes, definitely. Coach Sizemore and Clay County Tigers lost quite a bit from last year's team, But again, Clay County's one of those teams, they don't necessarily rebuild, they reload. And Coach Sizemore's going to have those guys ready to go. Coach Harris at Pineville, like you said, I also have known Coach Harris for several years now, on and off the football field. Upstanding, both gentlemen, both head coaches are top quality individuals. They know their game, they know their players, and they get the most out of them. And that's going to be a good game at Union College, if I'm not mistaken, on the turf. So a little extra speed going there with that turf.
That will definitely be an exciting game. You know, you bring two mountain teams together like that, both rebuilding, both have great head coaches and leaders. And Case, I don't know about you, but I think that'll be one of the more exciting games around the area as well.
I definitely think there's some exciting ones this week, for sure. Going off to the next game for our 13th region teams this week, you know, we may not know a lot about this one team, but Jackson County and Trimble County.
Well, I know DC has some roots out of Jackson County, and he probably a little more familiar than my counterpart Brian and I, so I'm going to let DC have the reins on this one.
Jackson County lost quite a bit from last year's team. They lost their leading rusher at Ethan Wilson, but they do have Ashton Clemens back, starting quarterback back, which they didn't throw a whole lot last year, but when they did, they capitalized on them. Clemens actually caught 3 balls last year for, I think, about 144 yards, and all 3 catches resulted in a touchdown.
Absolutely.
Being living in Jackson County now, I've got to see these kids mature from 5th, 6th grade level through the 7th and 8th grade, the middle school level, into high school. They're producing. Coach Sizemore gets the most out of the players that he's got. Trimble County is a long hump, probably about a 3-hour bus ride, so that's
definitely going to play into
that's going to play into the factor. Trimble County beat them last year, I think, at Jackson County 8-6. It was one of those smash mouths, punch you in the face, you punch me back. You know,
that's one thing about Jackson County teams, and over the years, I can say this has been something that's been very consistent, not only in football but basketball and baseball as well. Is them kids come out, you know, and they work hard, and they're working to get better. Their numbers are usually a little bit low because it's a little smaller school system. But the thing about it, them guys come out. They're a mountain team. They're mountain kids. They're raised to be tough and come out and hit you in the mouth. And I've seen Jackson County kids do that over the years. And so I wish the best to the Generals in their upcoming bout. And, you know, with a name like Jackson County, I mean, you know, that's got to make them tough right there, because you carry the name Jackson, you got to be tough. Right, Case?
Yeah. So, so moving on to our next game, I'll talk a little bit on this one because I know a little bit about it. But our next game in the region, turning it over to Whitley County versus Knox. You know, Knox also lost their head coach and pretty much every one of their coaches. So they're rebuilding, and Coach Wayne Mills is now over that program. And I know his son Seth has jumped in to help a little bit too. You know, Whitley has got both of the Wells twins from Knox, which has been a big asset to the team. But, you know, what do we think about that game?
Well, I tell you what, I think that's another one, Brian, that's going to be an exciting thing. And I join Case when I say that, you know, I have the honor of knowing Coach Mills a little bit, Coach Reimer a little bit. I know kids that play at Knox Central. I know kids that play at Whitley County. And I really believe that's going to be a pretty tough matchup. I believe Coach Mills is going to have his Panthers ready. And I know Whitley County's really been working hard, and I've studied a little footage on them as well. But, Brian, I really think that will be a battle as well. But everybody's excited to see this new brand of Knox Central Panther football. Of course, Wayne Mills leading the Panthers this year.
Right, yeah. And, you know, you can only say just good things about both these programs. They're both building. They're both generating the excitement for the schools, for the coaches, for the fans. Yeah, there are a little bit of setbacks, but they are powerful and they are working and they are two really great teams.
Absolutely, and I know Case has a little insight to some of the key players probably for both teams. Um, Case, can you clue us in about maybe who's going to be some playmakers? I know you've got a close family member that is absolutely playmaker, and I think he'll probably be the leader on the field for the Colonels this year.
I don't know too much for Knox, but I can tell you for Whitley, there's definitely a few to watch out for. Of course, who Sean was hinting towards there, D. Parker, a top one in the state last year in rushing yards. Just he kills it. And preseason scrimmages, he's already showed us he's not slowing down there. Another guy, another running back that has, shocked everybody. I mean, he come from playing the line position last year, center, if I'm not mistaken, to now a running back. Definitely another one to watch out for. That's Cody Bryant. And then, the new quarterback taking the reins of the Colonels, E.J. Allen. We know the family for baseball, but a pretty good football player too.
Hearing feedback.
Yeah, the feedback's starting to come through our headset. We was just copying you off the computer
It's not
speaker,
coming
but
through. It's just coming through our. We
yeah,
can hear it.
it's like it's echoing. Case.
No,
it-
it's just Ronnie's phone. Yeah, it's just your speaker. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, we're good now, Case. I think it was just an echo from
Yeah.
another device in here in the room, but absolutely, Whitley County and Knox Central. Case, is that played at Whitley County or Knox Central this week?
That will be at Whitley.
That'll be at Whitley County, and I know everybody's going to be excited. I mean, it's football time. What else can we say? But moving right along.
Next game to look at. This one's a fun one. We've got some pick'ems coming out real soon from the staff here at the 13th region, and some sponsors. But this one has been debated throughout the group chat, and when somebody picks somebody, they're like, really, and it just goes back and forth. But coming to Corbin High School, Campbell Stadium, is the Pikeville Panthers. Corbin will take on Pikeville this Friday.
Corbin and Pikeville, I believe that's the bowl game, correct?
I believe so.
The Pigskin Classic, I guess, as the
That's a big
Pikeville.
one. That's definitely a big one.
That's a big one. The Pikeville Panthers come to town. I think they're in the top 10 or 15 in the state. Corbin, of course, preseason top 10 or 15 in the state. Back-to-back state champs, the Pikeville Panthers. And, of course, Corbin has made a run very deep in the playoffs as well in the past. And I think everyone's pretty excited to just see that is it going to be Corbin football? I know they've got a new head coach. He's from out of town, and everybody's real excited to see if things are changing or if it's still just that same Corbin football it always has been, or if he's trying to bring in almost like a new game plan or a new culture per se. DC, that's going to be a slobber knocker. I mean, just any way you look at it.
If we wasn't going to be on Log Mountain Friday night, I would be in Corbin.
Right.
I would pay to watch that.
Absolutely. And I understand, I think Corbin, like I said, has some new faces on the field as well. So everyone's excited to see that, and I think that'll be a great game. It may go right to the wire, Case Crowley.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, we've got two more games here in the region this week, but we don't want to spoil it all just yet. We'll have a story up soon on the website. You can find that at www.13thregionmedianetwork.com. And we will have the staff and sponsor pick'ems like I talked about a little bit earlier. Two games that could go either way for either team and could really decide whose pick'em goes into the dirt for this season. But I think our idea here was to get a little test and maybe talk a little preseason. I think we got that in. Like I said, we got 2 more games in the region this week that we will take a look at in the article later released by Les Dixon there on the website. So I think I'm good. If you all are, we'll go ahead and close it up.
Well, I just want to say thank you for joining in with us, Case, and getting us through our test ride here. And we've been featuring the upcoming game Friday night as we travel to Log Mountain to feature the Martin Peterbilt Game of the Week here on the L4 Security 13th Region Media Network. That'll be the Bell County Bobcats and the Jaguars of North Laurel. DC, it's going to be a fun time. I look forward to it, my friend.
Wait.
Right.
Cannot wait. It's going to be a heck of a season.
Absolutely. Going to be a heck of a season. Don't forget to tune in each and every Friday night for that Martin Peterbilt Game of the Week. And Brian, looking forward to traveling, and all 3 of us, I guess, running our mouth. Like I said, we're not going to win any beauty contests, but the camera's going to be on the football game and not us, thankfully, if we don't break it.
That's good. And hopefully we can keep up with the action and keep the people tuned in and give them what they want and give them an exciting broadcast to make them feel like they were there, even though all they can do is hear it and watch it on the internet.
Absolutely. Case, if you have nothing else, I appreciate the opportunity and appreciate you joining in. Tell your mom and dad I said hey, and we'll see you right back here on the L4 Security 13th Region Media Network for the Martin Peterbilt Friday night game of the week at Log Mountain. This is Sean Jackson for DC Turner and Brian Lemos saying so long till next time.